So, I've been staring at this area for the past few days and I have no idea how I'm gonna make a city in here. No matter where I look from, I don't know where to begin. And the area is quite big and it has quite a few mountains and strange type of terrain, so I have to be really smart how I use this in my favor. And then a few minutes ago I was trying to get a better view and try to think outside the box, and I realized something. I'm a huge fan of city building types of games like SimCity 4, for example. I played the heck out of that game, and you know, even city skylines and all of these types of city building games. And the approach is a bit different from Minecraft. Because in here, normally we build a house and then we build roads connecting the new building to the rest of your other builds. But in SimCity 4, for example, you actually start off by building the roads and then you add specific buildings like housing and so on. So when I started thinking that way, I kinda started to see where this could go. So where do we begin? I have this huge bridge that I built a very long time ago that actually connects nothing to nowhere. This is just a bridge, but there's nothing on the other side. And, well, as you can see, there's not much here. But I guess this could be a good starting point. And what does it say here? Yeah, and then I realized that the other side is actually a small island. So technically it's not connected to anything. But I didn't know that when I built this bridge. Anyway, but this side here, it's important. And I think we can start off by finishing off this part of the bridge and extending maybe this road to a couple of places. And then once we lay the roads, we can finally start adding, you know, like housing districts, shopping districts, and so on. So, all right, let's get some blocks and start placing them. Obsidian will be, you know, probably one of the main blocks used, but I'm gonna need a lot of stone as well. If you haven't noticed, I'm on peaceful. Normally, like when I'm recording, I like to turn on peaceful mode. But lately, I'm just like always on peaceful. I just don't like creepers blowing up my stuff, so we're gonna need more cobblestone. Definitely obsidian, and I'll put this away for now. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna toss this. I duplicated that and I feel bad. This is the original. I thought I was gonna use it, but you know, it's just one diamond. What else we're gonna need? No, I think we're good for now. Let's go get more obsidian then. Yeah, I need a proper storage. Get out of here. Okay, I mentioned this before, but these old roads and structures, you know, we're gonna build our city on top of this. And we're gonna try to cover this with our new city. I think it was Batman Arkham City, I think, the second game. where there's a section of the game where you go to the sewers and there's like an ancient city down there. So that's what I'm thinking when it comes to, you know, building a city on top of a city. I don't think I ever showed you, but this is the under part of the bridge, but this took me so long to make. And I think, well, I'm not going to find it now, but I think I hid a couple of things here. Like I normally, like I just dig, I don't remember what it was, but like I put a chest with something and then just hide it under the sand. I don't know, just for fun. Probably never going to stumble upon it, but let's put our workstation here. So the bridge itself could be quite busy. I could add a couple of like cards or something as to show, you know, people or mobs are coming in and out. And we should have like a really big area here, maybe with some market stalls and shops, maybe even like hotel or something. So let's try to keep this area clear of, you know, just normal houses. And maybe we can do, we can just go up a little bit and we can add housing in this part against this mountain. So all right, that should work. What do I use it though? Yes, this will be a bit too expensive to just have it as like floor, and I cannot place slabs on the top half. It always goes on the lower half, so no, unless I do it like that, but then I'm just wasting resources. So let's see. We're gonna remove this. Yeah, we're gonna do stone, normal stone. And I checked my old storage, but I don't think I have anything here anymore. I think I moved everything out. Do I have coal? No. I think I should keep coal here. Nope. 13 pieces, why not? Oh, got some diamond here, nice. Alright, we're gonna have to smelt cobblestone then. So speaking of city skylines, the game should also keep in mind the skyline of the city. And you know, in case you don't know what that means, is you know, when you look a city from like a distance, you can see like the shape of the buildings, how they look from a distance, and that's really important to tell like cities apart. I know like city planners probably they considered all those things when new buildings need to be built, because they don't want to change the skyline of the city too much and maybe lose like their personality or whatever. Now maybe anything below the clouds should be I guess acceptable for now, until I figure out you know, how I'm gonna do the rest. Just for safety, what I'm gonna do, I like to have 2 layers of blocks. Oh, we got some coal, nice. Okay, I guess we can use this. So instead of digging all of that, let's extend this Now that we have space. And by the way, now that we are working on this, on the city, I mentioned that I was gonna put to a vote the name of the city, so yeah, help me choose. I'm not too sure. I thought of 2 names so far. I thought of Xenia, because for some reason that name is just stuck in my head for a few months. And I wanted something with the letter Z, because the old name of the city was Aurora, something with the letter A, so I thought of something with the letter Z to contrast how, you know, different of a project this will be from their ancestors. And the other name I thought was Dragoneth. The last episode we built the statues of the dragons, and that was inspired by Argoneth, the statues in the Lord of the Rings. So I guess Dragoneth kind of like sounds cool, I think. But anyway, I will open a poll so you guys can vote, and you know, maybe next episode we can finally name this place and add it to our maps, which is also something that I'm working on. I'm working on a couple of custom maps so we can find ourselves in the world, you know. This is where I came to design the, you know, the mob faces of those pillars. I came here at the time to, you know, try to see how they would look before I commit to the build. So after I was done, I kind of left this here, and for some reason I burned down this forest. I don't remember why. Yeah. And I used wool and iron. There's a lot of iron here, by the way. I guess I could push that all the way to this hill, maybe, and connect these parts, so... The sound of chickens in this game is so nostalgic to me. It's kind of weird. When I started playing, it was like 6 years ago when I first played Minecraft. Like I didn't know much about the game. I knew very little. So I probably spent like a lot of time in the same area, you know, near where I had my base. That was when I learned how to breed chickens, so I just like bred a ton of them for food. And they just make that noise all the time. So every time I hear them, I kind of remember that base. I wish I had that world. That was so long ago. I'm gonna add stone and cobblestone above the dirt level now. And then we're gonna probably add a little staircase going to this level. So I guess you can enter the city. I will probably put like an obsidian thing here, just to, you know, right in the center, which should be here. Like a monument thing, so they all see. And then maybe we've got the stairs leading to next level, which should probably be about here. We have a bunch of houses. So in my mind, there are quite a few species of mobs living in here. But this is not just the dragon city. I mean, it's not exclusive dragons. They are the architects, and like they hold the most important roles in the city. But there are other species that live here, and some more simpler housing will belong to them. So In my timeline video, I did mention about other species, and I think I mentioned in other episodes as well. There used to be rascals, shulkers, and villagers living in this area. The dragons were banished. They came back. Rascals now live far to the north by themselves. Villagers, they're kind of like they have small little settlements around the world, so they're not all together in one location like rascals, but they're like in small communities. And shulkers the same. They're just like they don't have like one place that they live. So I see, some villagers living in here, just like some shulkers, even though they're kind of like afraid of the dragons in a way because of some ancient history. Some of them found ways to live in this area. Because it's a prosperous city, so they will have a lot of resources, a lot of technology. So not the best place for them to live, but also not the worst place. They could do a lot worse, I guess. So I want the houses of the dragon species to be different. Maybe those ones will be taller, made of obsidian. They will look nicer, and then other small cobble houses here. Loud. So that's why we need a lot of housing, This is a strange hole that could be of some use. I don't know what for. That's the entrance of an old mine. That road could just circle around and just keep going on top of this road. And I'm just gonna figure out a way to give a new entrance to the lighthouse, because right now it's connected to the old road system. Okay, we're making progress. We got something to work on. I think starting off with roads was a smart move. Okay, it's a few days later. We're back, finally. Ignore the skin. I changed to this one, and now I cannot change it back to the dragon one I was using, but whatever. Ignore this one for now. This is what we got so far. So I think I laid out most of what I want. I'd say maybe like 80% of what I imagine the city to be is kind of like in place. There are a few things at the edges that I'm gonna have to come back and plan once I got at least some of these things done. There are a few prototypes, houses, and that bridge over there, something we're going to talk about soon. And the pillar, also ignore that for now. We're going to end the episode up there. All right, let's get down. And we're going to look closer. Not much has changed here. This is pretty much the same. But we've got a few roads placed, or at least structures of them. Okay, I will lay a stone floor in the market area. I imagine, like I said before, a couple of tents and just like a busy, very busy marketplace, kind of like medieval looking maybe. Here in the back, I want to have like an inn, maybe closing this section here off. So this is maybe like one of the last buildings in this area. If you go over here, you are kind of like outside of the city limits. I might build some farms in this area. I will need to flatten this before, but I don't want to rely on this to be like their main source of food. I think it's smart that I make other settlements, other towns in this country where they kind of like supply this place with more food, just so we can have like some trading going on. There will be a staircase that leads to like a higher to this level. If this is familiar, this is how the old villages were back in release 1.0. I just recreated this because, you know, villagers, they might live here in this area. So this is the type of housing that they make. The only difference, I think, is that instead of the glass panels, we actually got the glass block because we don't have the panels just yet. And I added a stone trim at the very top because the oak stairs are very expensive. So I'm trying to save as much as I can. So there will be a road here with a few more houses, and I think we have space for like another layer up, maybe a few blocks high there, with more housing. Or I can just add a couple of trees just to fill in the space. Nothing too tall. Maybe hugging this wall, I will probably add like a fisherman's hut or a fisherman's guild or something like that. I even added a little dock for fishing, because I want this area under the bridge and maybe extending even all the way there, filled with like fishing boats. So I think this is a good location for it. It's also close to the market, so you know it kind of makes sense. There are two ways that you can go here. We're gonna go up for now, and then we're gonna make our way back under the staircase thing. So this is like the main road, so you were kind of like expected to turn right and go up here to enter the city. And this is a prototype for the dragon type of house. You know, you see the obsidian. So this is more like high-end kind of housing. There is, let's actually look outside really quickly. Yeah, there's a little fire inside, so that does light up at night, which looks really nice. That's supposed to be kind of like maybe a chimney of some kind, but also it does emit light, so I don't know, just something weird that they have in their houses, I guess. And this looks like I don't know, some strange type of flooring, so I added this in front of the furnaces for the dragon house. And they normally have like a basement where they can add more, they have more spaces for like dormitories and so on. You know, the doors are made of iron because, you know, it's more like expensive kind of thing. And I can see probably a few more of those on this street. And then as I add more, you know, we kind of covered this under part here of the city. This level will also have a few more houses, and I will probably add like my storage at this level. Although I already added like a house here, I don't know why I did that. This one is a little different, it has like a desk, and it's smaller, a little smaller compared to that one. I think this one is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, like 11. That one I think is like 15 in 15 blocks long. This part here is pretty much the same, nothing changed. We're not gonna go there now. We're gonna go here through little bridge that will exist. And then I had this idea of making like a massive smelting room filled with like furnaces that maybe resemble, you know, like the interior of the nether. So I'm going to add a lot of netherrack and lava, maybe make like a big pit of lava, and then I can have like this place to smelt stuff. And then, like I said, up here, actually I don't remember if I said that in the few days before. So, well, if I didn't, well, this will be the library, and it kind of like marks also the back of the city. Back here we got the spawn forest, because spawn is right there. These are all very ancient trees. So the elder oak. And I think, I don't know, maybe here it could be like a type of like government building or something, where we got like the library, we got like a big tower maybe, where they study stars or whatever, and some other, you know, secret rooms where for the dragons, I guess. They're plotting a lot, so I guess they need some place to, you know, study magic and keep their secrets. Let's go around here. So that bridge made of obsidian is it's a project that I'm really excited that I'm finally working on. I had this idea a long time ago, and I knew like I had to build something on this episode because I wanted to see how this was going to look. I want to build a road network that connects the entire country, and I want this to be made of obsidian, and it needs to be really high up. I think this is Y level 100, and it will go you know, hundreds, maybe thousands of blocks all around the country. And I wanted this road to be like circular in a way, so there's no end point. You can just keep going and you'll eventually find your way back here. This is 5 blocks wide and 64 blocks long from this pillar to that pillar. Since I have unlimited supply of obsidian, this won't be, you know, the worst thing. The most expensive thing, I think, will be the glowstone. Because in these older versions, when you break one of those, it only drops 1 glowstone dust, and you actually need 9 of them to craft a block back. So really expensive. So I'm gonna have to do a lot of trips to the nether to get these ones, but obsidian, we should be fine. That is supposed to resemble the face of a mob. I'm not sure if it's very clear what mob that is. I'm not going to reveal right now, but it's something that's definitely coming up soon. So, you know, a little bit of mystery there. Yeah, and then we're going to have, you know, roads extending this way, probably 4 directions. Actually, I'm not sure this would make a lot of sense, but definitely like there and there. If I can find something to connect in that direction, why not? All right, so that's the Dragon Road, and I think it's going to be really awesome to look at it if you're, you know, like on the ground. Right now, it doesn't look much because there's a lot of other builds, but I imagine, you know, when you're out in like an empty area, this will probably look awesome. And I'll also add a staircase so you can, you know, access the road from the bottom. All right, it's nighttime again, and sorry if it's a little too dark. I'll try to make it bright in the editing part. So all of this lower part used to be the old city that was here, and once, you know, all of the Dragon City is, you know, built and all high up in the sky, this lower part will be the more like poorer part of the city, where, you know, maybe the villagers, most of the villagers and most of the shulker species will live. Maybe some piglins as well, because the piglins have like some kind of a diplomacy with the dragons. So I want this to look very messy with sewers and really dirty and forgotten. So down here in these in the lower parts of the city, I tried to build one of the villager houses here, but it kind of looks a bit weird how simply because of like how neat and big it is. I want something a little smaller. This was just like a prototype. I just wanted to see how it looked, but we can definitely transform this a little bit, make it look less nice looking, and just damage it up a little bit. So this is the old road, and will soon be underground. I grew a couple of trees here to kind of cover the wall that will be here, and it's gonna call the Old Aurora Road because that's the name of the city that was here. And then we're kind of like back here at the market. So there will be like a little sneaky way that you can access this road, you know, maybe through a couple of alleys. But you're kind of not supposed to be directed to the lower parts. You're as you enter the city, I want to maybe make something that kind of like takes you up these stairs. Okay, so here there will be another bridge leading to this to the tower, and there would also be a road leading down to that kind of like storage building that is connected to the docks. So that will be the main entrance if you're taking the boat into the city. So it needs to be really big, a really big staircase. And I can imagine, you know, other levels, just like the part in the market where there's multiple levels of houses. We can do the same thing here. There's plenty of space to hug this wall and maybe go all the way there. I think across this sea, I will probably make like a bridge leading to maybe like the military part where they got like the barracks and, you know, all of the weapons. But that's a future project because that's the part where like I'm not 100% sure. All right, big tower made of obsidian. Where have I seen this before? So in the end dimension, there are 10 obsidian pillars in a circular shape, and each of those pillars, you know, they have the I don't know the name of that item, but it's like the nether star, I think it's what's called. And it kind of like powers the dragon. It gives them like some kind of strange healing properties or whatever. So I figured, you know, as obsidian pillars are important for that dragon, and well, this is the civilization of the dragon species, I'm gonna be making 10 of these obsidian pillars all over the country, and this is gonna work as some kind of source of power for them. The more of these pillars they build, the more dependent they become on their magic. They're basically drawing all of the power, all of their magic from those pillars into their civilization. All right, so we're gonna light it up, and I'll see you guys on the next episode. Bye bye.